Alright, so we have open workout 23.1, which is a repeat from 2014. I did this one in 2014 and done it a few more times since then. My intention for this one was to get 10 muscle ups. I'll go through my strategy for this one. It was to keep the row between a 1150 and 1250, which I managed to do quite comfortably. Super difficult. Going into the toes to bar, my intention was to do 2 sets of 8, 2 sets of 7, and then 4 sets of 5. On the wall balls, 12, 10, 10, 8. Cleans, singles the whole way. Try and stay over the bar and simply keep moving. And then with the muscle ups, like I mentioned, my intention was 10 total reps, so 2 very quick sets of 3, and then 2 quick sets of 2. I figured probably have around sort of a minute on the muscle ups, and again, that was the strategy going forward. That was my intention. However, things did not quite work out like that. So after watching the announcement of the workout on Friday in Australia, was all excited to go, had planned to do it on Saturday, the day after, which is when I have the opportunity to be able to do these open workouts. On the Saturday morning at about 5 a.m, my wife woke me up to let me know that her water had broken, and we were about to have a baby today, on that day. Mind you, she was 2 weeks early, but however, we went with it. Spent most of Saturday at home, just monitoring the contractions and trying to make my life comfortable as possible. At about sort of 12:15 the next morning, so on Sunday morning, we went into the hospital as the contractions started getting closer together, meaning that the baby was coming. And then Sunday morning at 7:48, my wife gave birth to our daughter, which was all good. Now there were a few complications during the birth, which meant that both my wife and my daughter had to stay in the hospital a couple days extra. So, which meant I was not sleeping as I was at the hospital most of the time, and definitely wasn't eating. So in the past, so the day that I was doing this workout is day 5, after my wife gave birth, or being awake for a ridiculous amount of hours. In those 5 days, I've had less than 20 hours sleep, and had about 2.5 meals since then. So not ideal for an open workout. However, for me, so I had to do this on today's Wednesday, I believe. Even though the cutoff is passed, this one was just about doing the workout and putting in as much effort as I possibly could. So even though on the rower felt pretty good, even on the toaster bar, even though I wasn't able to stick to my game plan of 8, 8, 7, 7, and then 4 sets of 5, I managed to do 5s up until the last 2 sets, where I had to do 3 and 2, 3 and 2, so another 2 extra sets on top of that. But even that, I was feeling okay. Still hadn't hit the wall just yet. Where that happens is on the wall balls. After my first set, so on the wall balls, as I think I mentioned, or if not, my plan was to do 12, 10, 10, 8 on the wall ball, so 4 sets, so similar to like a descending rep scheme. Managed to do the first set on the wall balls, but I'll talk about that once I get there. So with the back to the toaster bar, with the toaster bar, was feeling pretty good, a little bit sluggish, which wasn't a real surprise, with the lack of sleep and food and just the lack of training that I had been able to do over the last 5 days. Feeling pretty heavy. Movement wasn't too bad, but just very sluggish. As I mentioned, 5's the whole way, except for the last 4 sets where it was 3-2, 3-2. But still managed to keep a positive mindset. Just kept talking to myself, trying to stay or keep that rest relatively short, which for sort of these open workouts is always or something that I need to focus on quite a bit, is making sure that I keep that rest nice and short, even if it means smaller reps. A few times had to chalk up. So from a previous competition, I had sort of a blister which tore off during this. There was no blood or anything like that, as it had healed. It was just sort of loose sort of skin. So I think that happened on the second set or something like that. But yeah, this is where we do the set of 3. Oh no, the end of the toaster bar. Now going into the wall balls, again, game plan was to do 12, 10, 10, 8, so 4 sets. Managed to get through the first set of 12, and that's when sort of the wheels fell off, and that's pretty much all I had from then on in. It was a fight to do reps, hit the wall, which is not, I knew it was going to come. I was hoping I was able to get through at least, like when I was actually doing the workout, I knew that I wasn't able to get to what I wanted, which was the 10 muscle ups, but I was hoping just to get to the muscle ups, even just one attempt, and I would have been quite happy with that. But I knew on this second set here, after the set of 5, that I was probably not going to happen, but still tried to push through anyway. So even though I did it's even smaller sets than I would have liked, so it ended up being 12, 5, 4, 4, and then 5, 5 sets wise. But the biggest factor was just the rest. I was breathing quite heavily after being awake for long periods of time and not eating enough. Getting a heart rate anything over resting feels like it's at about 200, and just the breathing was a struggle as well. I believe in one of these sets I get a no rep. I gave myself a no rep as well. So this is not an official video or anything like that. I'm not entering the score as, well, for one, the scores are all locked out, but I don't have a judge or anything like that. So this was purely for me, and just the want to do the workout, even though the score doesn't count. But to say that I did it and to get it done, even though I knew I wasn't going to be a super fantastic score, but I was still quite happy with my effort, even though it's not exactly what I wanted. So this is one of the extended rest periods that I take here. I think it was one of 3. I think I had 3 relatively large rests between sort of like 15 to 25 seconds, which is a lot of time, especially get such small reps on those wall balls. So moving on to the cleans, again the plan was to just go with singles the whole way, but stay on the bar and just move it as quick as possible. I was moving as quick as possible for today, or on that particular day, but it was nowhere near where I needed to be at. Even though the cleans look alright, they definitely felt a lot harder than I was expecting. Not that I was expecting them to feel super light and be able to do touch and go or anything like that, but they definitely felt more challenging. Just probably made it at that point. And I think with about 2 minutes to go, a thought runs through my head that I was like, yeah, I think I'll just stop, but still push through. And I think I did 20 reps or so. I can't remember, to be honest. Which is less than what I did in the previous time I did previous amount of reps that I got. So last time I did this workout, which is a video actually on this YouTube channel, 14.4 I think it is. I got 8 slots. So I'm not sure exactly what I got in 2014. I think I only get a handful of reps. So overall, I definitely didn't beat my previous scores, but again, was probably never going to happen due to my lead up to this particular workout. But again, quite happy with the effort that I showed. So right here is where I was like, I think I've had enough, but I believe I'll look at the clock and keep going, or I check the time. So talking to myself, just saying, no, we'll keep going. So it's funny to watch. The cleans look, they don't look too bad, but my response to them is a sort of drastic between the amount of effort that it looks like and what I actually felt like. So 60 seconds, I just want to get as many reps as I can at this point. I think it was about 30 seconds to go, so I got 3 or 4 quick fast reps to put me at that 20 mark. But yeah, just feeling all sorts of pain here. Just feels like my heart rate's about 200. Feel like I'm not getting enough oxygen in, and just generally tired. But again, I think this is where I do a few quick ones to get me to the 20 rep mark. That's it. So overall, first one in the books. Very much looking forward to the second one. I'll be doing it at a normal time and forcing me to get up and eating a lot more. So we'll see how we go.